Alright guys, the camera's kind of crooked and it's at a slant, so it makes me look fat, but I'm not fat. So, see, look. Okay. Dr. James Bryant. Several people got together and murdered this man. Take you all the way back to the year 2002. I'm married. My wife has 2 brothers, 2 former kids, and 2 kids by me. Her kids by someone else was Cody Ray Gould and Justin Wayne Harris. My children's Joshua David Messer and Melina Messer, which is now Fellers, is the last name. But yeah, guys, I'm telling it all. So anyway, we own a little place in Riverside, a little bait and tackle shop. Just started trying to get it going. Wife was running it and I was working full-time in the county. We get a call that we needed to get to the hospital. We were on our way, I think, to the business. She gets down there and Aaron, her youngest brother, was in a serious incident, they said. Anyway, the doctor was dead, shot dead. And their story was something to do with, it was a lover spat between the doctor's wife and Aaron shot him or something, I don't know. And the doctor stabbed him or something, but anyway. So the ones that were involved were his 2 sons, James and Matthew. I think James was the young one. Matthew was the oldest one. He used to be part of Wimbledon or something. He was at one time. I don't know. Anyway, the whole family's wealthy. Just like his estate was like $6 million, something like that. I don't know. But, so. Then one of them, then they figured out, see what it was. They had planned on killing Aaron. And then the estate would have went to the boys. Or their mom or somebody. Alright. Now, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 people involved in this. When Aaron didn't die, they stabbed him, guys. After this, they actually read a medical book and tried to figure out how the best place to stab him to kill him would be. Planted the knife all the way down to the handle in his chest. And he didn't die. If the paramedics had to try to pull the knife, he would have died. The knife was within millimeters of a main artery in his heart. So, when they figured out that he could sue them and get the money, one of them, I don't know what happened, maybe the pressure or panicked or something, but one of them that was involved panicked. Trying to stay at evidence on everyone. Thing is, his whole story was wrong. Everything about it was wrong. And the county supported it with lies. What had happened, guys, was, alright, at the time, next door to me was an older lady, Geneva Faye Baker, or Barker, and her daughter, Brenda Sturgeon, which is Lonnie Dwayne Brewster's mother and grandmother. Now, Lonnie Dwayne Brewster lives, or did, across the street from me. The most psychopathic man you could ever meet. He used to go around and threaten to kill everyone, and shoot everyone, and threaten their families and all this and that. True psychopath in every sense of the word. Now, he was in on it. Melinda's mom and dad's neighbor right down the street where that little White House I talk about. Johnny, one of his sons were somehow in on it, or knew about it. The mastermind of the whole thing was a guy by the name of Jason Boyd. And so he turned state evidence, and to prove his story, the detectives ran their vehicle, they said, in an unmarked vehicle without running lights or anything during the same time, during the same traffic, to see that if his story panned out about when he left there and he moved and traveled to another place. And they were specifically asked, did you run with your lights on for the traffic to move so you could get there quicker? And they said no. Now, it wasn't in writing, I don't think, but guess what? From what I understand, the tapes show that the reflections of the windows and everything else in the other vehicles shows they had full running lights, guys. Everything that Lonnie Dwayne Brewster told them was a lie. What I understand happened now was, I don't know if they stabbed Aaron before he shot the doctor or after, I don't know. I really don't know, but apparently he could shoot. Now, if he wanted to kill the doctor, he would. He shot him in the butt and the leg and all that. No kill shots. But Lonnie Dwayne Brewster, from what I understand, picks the gun up, finishes the doctor off. Can you imagine the horror of that man as he's being killed slowly like that? The mother says that she wasn't there and she wasn't a part of it, but there was records that never went into evidence that she was there because her signature is on earlier that day she was there because her signature was on some appliances that was delivered there, from what I understand. Now, she did know, she was a part of it somehow, it seems. But now here's the thing, guys. So they believed all their stuff. The only ones that got arrested was Aaron Harris. The other boys that were involved, even the mastermind, Jason Boyd, never got arrested, never seen the first day. They said it's because of his diabetes or something, he was dying or something. He's still alive, guys, even today. It's because of who he is related to, I believe. I was told a federal marshal or somebody. But if it's who I think it is, they work for the county too, so, which I'm not sure yet who that is. But, and Johnny Klinsko, his son, from what Johnny said, he's related to the coroner here, which I don't know. I don't believe anything no one tells me anymore. But, alright, so let's speed this up a little bit. So one day, a year or two later, or something like that, the one that Lonnie Dwayne Brewster, his deal was, he wouldn't see prison time for turning over state evidence, as long as he had no negative contact with the police. Well, him and his girlfriend or wife, or whoever she was at the time, that lived across from me, in front of me, got into a domestic dispute. He was like kicking or beating the dog, and the police were called and ended up arresting him, which violated his conditions, and he was sent eventually to prison. Now, in prison, the local PD chief at the time was Johnny Kyle. Now, it's been said by many folks that there's a very close relationship between Johnny Kyle and Lonnie Dwayne Brewster's mom, Brenda Sturgeon. And because of that friendship, Lonnie Dwayne Brewster apparently writes this man from prison, asking him to drop the charges, reverse it, get rid of it, or something. Anything that could reverse and get him out of prison. Johnny Kyle writes him back. I don't know if Johnny Kyle used his real name or not on that one, but telling him he couldn't. It was out of his hands, out of his powers. Now, guys, his grandmother passes away in 2008. I'm at the jail. I'm booking the day he comes from prison. Book him in, find out where he's going, all that. Moody police comes, picks him up. Now, for the funeral and stuff. Now, anybody who knows anything knows that if you come from prison, local PD don't do that. It's the sheriff's department. And you only typically get a choice of a funeral or a burial. You don't get a choice of both. Sorry, I got something in my tea. Alright, so anyway, comes and picks him up. I find out later from several people that he was not in handcuffs. He was allowed to go out to eat. He even went to his girlfriend's house up the driveway and threatened her life, guys. This came out of her mouth. He was unsupervised. He didn't come back, I think, till late that night because I had booked him in. When he come back in, booked him back in, or whatever, or received him, let's say. Found contraband on him. He didn't seem to care. And I asked Captain what I should do about it. She said, no, write it up, tag it to his file, and let it go back with him to DOC for disciplinary. I did. It never went back with him. They never picked it up. But in any case, guys, they let that man, a psychopath, who knows, he could have figured if he killed that girl, there'd be no case against him. He could have killed her. You know, anything could have happened. But when you come from prison or something like that, you're not even allowed to hug people, supposedly. You got to remain in uniform, you know, not wear what you want, and certainly not go out to eat with your family. It's to the funeral and or burial, and then back to the jail or your house to go back to DOC. It's always the way it's worked, guys, except for with him. So you know some strings were pulled. Big time. So yeah, that's the story there. But now, after all of that time, for some reason, Aaron Harris is out after doing a life, guys. First try, first time. Somebody pulls strings. Because I think they're trying to hem me up so they get him out. So I don't know if they're trying to say I was involved in that or involved in something else he's trying to get. Whatever it is, they're enabling him. And he came, and I could sense nothing but anger out of this man. No matter how well he tried to hide it. Here's not a good hider, guys. I'm telling you right now. And from little statements that I hear with the same three words keep repeating, I'm finally starting to put things together. And I know, or believe I know, what they're using against me to have so many people help them and get on their side. And therefore, I know who they are. Or some of who they are. I don't know, guys. I have no proof of this. But, absolutely everything I have just told you is absolutely the truth. Oh, I had a recording, guys. Listen to this. I had a recording of Lonnie Dwayne Brewster's girlfriend or wife, whoever she was. I know her name. I just can't say it. But anyway, probably around 30 minutes to 45 minutes of her talking about the incident and what had happened. I had it recorded, guys, because I had a recorder on me at the time. Excuse me. Anyway, so as time goes on a little bit, I start thinking about it. I'm like, no, I don't want this in my possession. So what I do, I burn it to a disc. Excuse me. I burn it to a disc, and I take it to the sheriff's department. And I give it to one of the detectives. No explanation, no anything. And put it on his desk. actually get a cup of coffee, I think, or something, or he offered something he did. I forget which. I can't remember. But anyway, nothing ever became of that, guys. Nothing. Now, as time goes on, I'm going to tell you some horror stories more about the local police department here, and the officers that you won't believe. But it's true, absolutely true, 103%. But I just wanted to give you a background on, oh, and I forgot to tell you. After the case was settled and they scared Aaron into taking the life and everything to get the case settled quickly, they scared the boy and went against what his brother told him to do. He was just a country boy, guys. He was already shook up. They started throwing probably death penalty and all, who knows what else at the boy. But he signed a confession and he took the rap for everyone. No one else in jail except, well, the two brothers, or two sons did. One of them spent his whole time at the county as a trustee, the young one. The oldest one, I think, went to prison, I'm not sure. But, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Now, right after this happens, connected somehow to the case, I believe that a large amount of donation money was given to the sheriff's department, guys, anonymously, which I figured might have been either their aunt in another state or the mom. I don't know. But now here's the thing, guys. You would think after such a high-profile case, you'd be wanting to investigate who the heck is this donating all this money right after this case, right? You would think that'd be a logical thought. Nope. Now, let me tell you one thing. In big meetings, the sheriff loves to boast about this, but he won't go into full details. They received a letter once, anonymously, talking bad about the sheriff's department. Well, one thing about the sheriff is image. It's the only thing he cares about, guys, mainly is image. Hiding as much as he can from the media and image. I can prove all that. I'm not the only one that says that. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, so it wasn't a threat letter. It was just a negative opinion letter. He spent county time, money, and resources to investigate who this was that sent this letter. He boasts and brags about it. He wants everybody to know that even if you send something anonymously, you'll find out. Well, they found out who it was. They reviewed all of the videotapes from the post office till they found it out. It was an old lady. I hope to God that he didn't somehow threaten that old lady. His story usually ends there, but he gets the point to everybody. You go against him behind his back, and he'll find out. But county time and money was spent on that, guys. Now, any organization is going to have bad and negative thoughts and reviews or whatever. Anyone. Why would you spend our money, the taxpayers' money, to investigate something like that was connected with nothing but a bad opinion? I've only seen him twice, probably twice, maybe 3 times, no more than that, in 14 years at the jail. He hates the jail. He hates it so bad that he eventually moved both of the sheriff's offices away from the jails to separate and close locations. Once I saw him in Asheville. I came into work, and earlier that day, apparently someone escaped. Had access to one of the key rings or keys from the jail. Went out the back door or something. Climbed the little top of the fence thing, got out. Second time, okay, let me tell you this story. Moody brings, well, I ain't gonna tell you. Anyway, I already did. Brings in, there's this female, he comes in to get a female for their court. She comes out and her uniform's all tethered, holes all in it, rips all in it, and everything else. Well, I don't want to send her out like that. So I send for the trustee, go downstairs, find her uniform. I guess it was wash day, I don't remember, but they were having a hard time finding one to fit her. Well, the officer gets tired of waiting, so he says, I'm going to take her anyway. I says, look, no, it wasn't court. I'm sorry, back up. It was for a doctor's appointment or something, maybe. Yeah, doctor's appointment. I'll tell you how I know now. Anyway, so he says, something, but don't worry about it. When they get there, you're going to put her in a gown anyways. That's how I remember it. It's the doctor's. So, the freak was... Hold on, guys. Okay, so after that, then she goes to court. Anyway, somebody notices her clothes and makes a comment about it. It gets back to the sheriff. He comes in there all blazing and mad, grabs Captain Moss to the back in the office, and all we hear is yelling back there. And then she even walks up front for a minute to get something, goes back down there. And I know what happened. And I go back there and I try to explain to the sheriff. He's like, Mr. No, don't worry, I'm mad right now. We'll talk later. I said, but sir, I know what, don't want to hear it. Okay. So I go up there and I'm trying to write fast an incident report explaining what happened. The officer refused to wait. I told him that I was trying to get her a uniform, yada, yada, yada. Something that officer didn't explain. So I get this finally filled out. It's roughly done now, but accurate. And I wait. Captain Moss goes down the hall to get something else. He must have been back to 20, 30 minutes yelling at her because his image was messed up or tainted. Alright. Well, I hand her the incident report. It says, Captain Moss, whatever you do, please read this before you go back in there. So she's reading it on the hallway, you know. A few minutes later, I'm down in the hallway and I hear him on the phone to the magistrate or someone. My man told me that your man said that he refused to wait for a uniform, yada, yada, yada. You know, he was fine with it then, you know. I know that officer was pissed off at me, which won't be the first time. And I'll explain some more times that the same Moody officer and another Moody officer got pissed off at me for me doing my job. Alright. So anyway, that's the Dr. Bryant story. If I repeat that with that inmate and the sheriff again, please. I said, wait a minute, where was another time I seen him in there? That was a long time ago with the keys. And hold on, guys. When was another time I seen him there? No, I'm pretty sure it was 3 though. Anyway, guys. I gotta figure out what my next video is going to be about. Because I'm tired, it's hot out. And I can't think, but I'm sure there's things I have missed here on this. But this video is already long, so I guess I'll add more about the Moody cops and the things that went on there after this video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, they always say. Thanks.